Hello. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but it appears that I lost the internet somehow. So let's see who we can get back on. Let's go. Let's see if it's going to work or if I'm going to have to just give it up. What is up with the internet tonight? You are currently offline. Refresh. Let's see. Say hello, Laura. Can't seem to get my computer working. Let me, it's not showing me online at all. I don't know why. It says I have no internet access here. Okay, Cynthia, hello. Hello, Jennifer. Thanks for hanging in there. Now, if I can just get my computer to work, I would be good, I think. Let's go on here. So I could see comments. For some reason, it says I have no internet access here. I don't understand why. Okay, well, crud. I guess I'm just not going to be able to see comments. So I'll just go forward and let's get rid of this because I can't see that. I want that to go away. Okay, well, we'll just go on. So where we were at, we were stamping our little images and coloring. So I'm going to go ahead and color the hat on my friendly little gnome with, I'm going to get out there. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can bring Facebook back up. It just will not come up on my computer. It says I am not connected to the internet. Wi-Fi is off. Why is my Wi-Fi off? Oh my goodness. Hang on, you guys. I'm trying really hard to get this up. Okay, now it says, there we go. Good grief. All right, maybe now I can see. So sorry about that. All right, now let's see if I can get the post up. No, it's not. Come on, Facebook, cooperate. Okay, let me redo this. I'd like to be able to see your comments. Okay, so sorry. Okay, I think I'm back. All right, so sorry about that. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to put some dark old olive on her hat in the artist spots and along the edge here and right around the top of her nose. Okay, and then I'm going to go back with the old olive. I'm going to color that in. I'm doing a real quick color job, you guys, because I'm going to take up too much time, and I've got another card. And I've already been fighting with the internet. Okay, so we've got that. Take crumb cake, light for the hair here. Just color real quick. I'm going to go in and barely tap these ends of her hair. And then I'm going to go back with my dark crumb cake. And again, I'm just going to hit some of those artist lines to give some depth and difference in her hair color. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to just give it a quick blend. All right, for her little outfit here, we're going to go with dark and light flirty flamingo. So I'm going to go light here. And then I'll put the light in and be careful around the edges of her hair here. Okay, and then I'm going to go back with the dark flirty flamingo. I'm just going to put in some highlights here around her hair, where there would be some shadows. Okay. And I'll go back and give those a quick little blend. All right. Then I'm going to dot her little shoes here. I'm going to take SU 900. This is from the Light Natural Tones. And I'm going to do up her nose. Oh, and before I get too far into the face, I want the light flirty flamingo, and I'm just going to put a little dot there on her cheek for some blush. It's best if you do that first so you don't get an alcohol spot. And then I'm going to do these little spots in her shoes that look like they should be skin. All right. And finally, I'm going to take some light mango melody, and I'm just going to color that flower there. I hope I'm not. My screen is frozen again. So let's refresh that. All right, good. Okay. And then to finish off her shoes, I'm going to take the light soft suede. And I'm just going to color those shoes in. And then I'm just going to go over that a couple of times, which will give it a little bit of depth there. Okay, and finally then we've got our little house. So we're going to take the light and dark mango melody. Now, if you don't have these, remember, I'm going to start with dark. Use Daffodil Delight. Work just as well. You could even use Cajun Craze. That coordinates with the paper. So we've got that. Wrong end. That tip is about empty. I need to replace this marker. Okay, we're going to put in just a few little spots here. I'm going to go back with the light old olive and finish those off. Okay. And then I'm going to take, and I want to put some foreground here. So I'm going to take the brush tip of my marker here, and I'm just going to go here. I am going to switch to the bullet tip for around these little pebbles. Not that you're really going to see them because I am going to color them up. And we're just going to color this in like so. All right, and it's okay if you have differences in color because you kind of want that with your grass. All right, and then we're going to take our soft suede again, and I'm going to go around the doorway here and under the windowsill here. We're going to color our door itself in the balmy blue. Putting dark on the lines and then blending it in with the light. Going around that doorknob. All right, and then, let's see. We're going to take our dark crumb cake, and I'm just going to follow the artist's lines on the mushroom house. And then I'm going to go back with my light. And color that all in. Okay. Making sure I leave my blades of grass. All right, so we've got that. And then we're going to take the light crumb cake and I'm just going to go over the mushroom spots. And finally, we're going to do the top in light flirty flamingo. And really, the coloring goes really quickly. You can make it go even faster if you don't do the shading. Then we're going to go back and take our dark flirty flamingo. I'm going to go under my mushroom spots where there might be a shadow. And again, I'm going to pick out these spots that the artist put in. And then I'll just go back and blend those in just a touch. And finally, we'll finish up with a light so saffron on our window. Okay? All right, so that's all our pieces. Now these three, the bird, the squirrel, and the house, there's no die for. The little gnome girl, this is not the right die, but there is a die for that. Okay, so I've already cut those out, save us some time. So let's grab those pieces. Okay, so you can see that I've taken with that old olive and I've cut out around that and just rounded that up. Oh, I did not cut that out. I did hand cut these though. Let me grab the correct die because I thought that I had cut that, but apparently I did not. So we'll just grab this one here and this will cut out our girl. And we'll bring in the boho mini for this. Use a little bit of Post-it tape. This is a join special right now. You can get this little boho mini with a starter kit. You get $129. For $129, you can pick either the boho blue or the white mini, and then you get $175 in free product of your choice. All right, so we've got that now. Go ahead and get those out of our way, and we can start putting our card together. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is add our balmy blue and old olive blended piece with the stitched whimsy die on it. I'm going to add this to my card base with the balmy blue at the top. Okay. And I'm going to take my 3 pieces of designer series paper and I'm going to put them on here willy-nilly so that they stay in the lines here. Actually, let's this one and this one. So let's go ahead and put this down. Oh, good. It looks like we're working still. Okay, we're going to put this at an angle. We'll put this one at an angle. And this is the Rain or Shine DSP, as I mentioned before. But this one's sticking up just a little bit. These are 1 by 3.5 inch strips. And we'll just put this up over here like this. Okay. Then we're going to take our tag here. Oh, this is not the right size tag. Hang on. I cut the wrong tag, you guys. Crazy, crazy. Let me grab a scrap piece of old olive. Actually, I wanted the second to the smallest tailored tag, or the second to the largest. Yes, that's the one I want. That one is way too big to go across our card. And let's see, can I put this through the mini? All right, well, we're gonna cut this. You can only have a 3.5 inch piece of paper to go in the mini, but we will make this work. Sorry about that. I thought I had this all together. It's real crafting here, folks. I've had a hard time getting used to putting the scraps down. I really struggle with designer series paper, and I've challenged myself to use it more. And the willy-nilly kind, you know, I'm pretty much, I like my stuff straight. But I'm trying. I did like how this turned out. Now that is the size we needed it to be. Much better. So let's go ahead and put this down. And I'm just going to put this on flat. So we'll just, I want a little bit of the Mango Melody sticking out the bottom here. So we're just going to put that on like so. And I'm going to go ahead and put on, I've taken a piece of the Crumb Cake Essentials Twine Pack. You get 5 colors in that pack. And I've tied a little bow. And I'm going to use a glue dot. Crunch that up. And I'm going to put this like so. Just like that. Okay. Then we're going to take our mushroom house and we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. I'm getting down to the bare bones here. We're going to take, such a good feeling when you know you're getting close to the end of the Stampin' Dimensionals. Put one of these up here. And I'm using my sticky scissors. I don't use my good scissors for cutting dimensionals. And then we're going to put another one right here in the center. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go ahead and put our little house on here. I'm going to set that so it's kind of like this. And I'm going to grab my little girl over here. I want her to go about right here, and I like how that is. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a good push. Get some more Stampin' Dimensionals for our little Gnome here. We'll add her in right next to the house, but I'm going to set it down at the bottom near the stitching so it looks like she's standing in front of the house. All right, then next we've got our little bird here. And I'm going to cut just a small piece here from a bird. I could use a mini, but I've got these edges and I can cut them any size I want. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to take his little feet and we're going to set them right on top of the house. Right on top of that little bump in the mushroom house. Okay, and finally, well, not finally, but my sentiment ran away. I'm going to take my sentiment. I'm going to put this down flat. And I'm going to set this up here. Like so. And then I'm going to take my squirrel. And we're going to add some dimensionals to our little squirrel here. And we're going to stick him right up here at the end of our sentiment. Okay, and then we need a few little embellishments. So we're going to take our Pebbles enamel dot or shapes here that you can get on the clearance rack. And I'm going to take one of these long gray ones and I'm going to put it up here on the first little pebble there. I'm going to take one of these smaller gray ones here and I'm going to put this down and cover that one. And then I'm going to take one of the darker gray ones. And I'm going to put that on there. And now it looks like there's really a stone walkway. I'm going to take the iridescent pearl basics and I'm going to take one of the small pearls and stick that in the center of her flower on her hat. And then we're going to take a rustic metallic dot and take the smallest one. I'm going to stick that right on the doorknob. Okay, and there is the front of our card. Now for the inside of our card, I've taken this piece of that designer series paper and I've stamped the squirrel. And I didn't even color him. And I'm just going to stick that on the inside of our card. And now our card is finished. I did not put a sentiment for the inside because I can send happy thoughts for a lot of different occasions. And I wanted to make sure that it fits the recipient when I'm ready to use it. Or it could just be a note card. Okay. And finally, for the envelope, I've taken the flower and the grass piece from the gnome set, and I stamped those on the front of our card, and there is our completed ensemble. I hope you like that. All right, we're going to have to get moving to get this finished. All right, let me clean up a bit here. Clean these off really quickly. So I don't put my fingers in them and then get ink everywhere. All right, so we've got that, and I'm using my chamois, my Simply Chamois, to clean my stamps. We can put back our colors. I'm gonna need a couple of those, I think. All right, so let's throw these in the bin or on the floor. That works too. Okay, and we'll move on to our next project. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, I think we're back at it. Okay, so our second card is a little bit quicker and easier, and I'm using some pre-made things from the annual catalog. So we've got quite a few ink pads here. We've got Parakeet Party. Let me move this out of the way. So Saffron, Sweet Sorbet, Orchid Oasis, Garden Green. And then we'll be using the Memento. We've got some Stampin' blends that we'll be coloring our little gnome with. We'll be using the matte decorative, or the 2022-24 in color matte deco dots. The Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. These are, you get 20 cards and envelopes. The envelopes are already pre-printed for you, and the card fronts are pre-printed to match. Okay, so it's a quick way to do some cards. And these you will find in the annual catalog. And if you don't like using the Tea Boutique cards and envelopes, you can always use the Tea Boutique 6x6 Designer Series paper. It does have some of the same patterns as the cards and envelopes. So just an alternative for you. All right. So we're going to start with our card base, and I've pulled out the Sweet Sorbet card base. And we're just going to give this a quick fold. Okay, move these up out of the way till we need them. Okay, so we've got that. I've taken and cut 2 of the deckled rectangles from this layering one, and I believe I used, yes, the second to the largest, and I've cut 2 of those in Parakeet Party. Okay, so we are going to just take and add these. I'm going to stack them. I'm going to make sure these are not symmetrical, so you do need to make sure that you have the same directions going. So I'm just going to stack these together. This will just give me a little bit of dimension without adding an entire dimensional layer. And I'm just going to put these down, stack them on top of each other. I use liquid glue so I can move them around a bit if I need to. Give those a quick press with my bone folder. Okay. And really, we could go ahead and add this to our card base. And that is what we have. Okay, now we need to do a bunch of stamping. So we've got a scrap piece here. This is not a scrap piece. This is the size that we need. Okay, so we've got that. Plus we need to stamp our gnome, which I've actually already done and colored him, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save us a little bit of time. So I've colored him, his hat, in the light and dark orchid oasis, just like I showed you on the previous gnome. I've used a little bit of gray granite in his beard and then blended it out with the color lifter. His shoes I've done in the SU 300. This is in the medium dark natural tones collection. Then we've got light and dark sweet sorbet in the heart, and I've used dark so saffron on his shirt, and of course SU 900 for his skin tones there. Okay, there we go. So we've got that. Now we're going to grab our stamp apparatus for the rest of our stamping, because we are using the Beautifully Happy stamp set. That's the free celebration one. And I've got this set up on my stamp apparatus. It is photopolymer, so you do need your foam mat in here, which I've got down below here, my deluxe foam mat. The stamp apparatus actually comes with just a black mat like this that doesn't have this coating on it, and you can purchase the deluxe mat in the annual catalog. So we've got that in there. I'm going to take my piece of paper. I'm going to stick it in my stamp apparatus. I'm going to take my first plate. Now, all you have to do for the stamp apparatus, actually, you can just do this so you can see how it's done in case you're new and you don't know. I'm going to put this on exactly where I want it. I want it so that the stem is actually coming off the page. And then I'm going to put that in. Might as well pull these off because I'm going to need to reposition them. Okay, so I've got that. And I'm going to take my Memento and I'm going to ink this up. And then I'm going to give that a good press. Okay, put that in there. I'm going to clean this off real quick. Actually, I'm going to keep this out because it'll be faster for us. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a quick clean. And then I'm going to flip this. Just pull it out at a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to line this one up. So I'm going to just place this on my paper where I want it. Line that all up. Like so. Give that a press. Then I'm going to grab my garden green. And I'm going to ink that up. And I'm actually going to stamp this off. Get a little bit of that ink off. And a piece of scrap paper. And then I'm going to give that a good press. And I've colored those in. Clean that off really quick so I can move to my next plate. Then I'm going to pull out my next plate. Grab my stamps off because they're not positioned how I need them anymore. So I wanted to show you how I do this. Then I'm going to go to my leaves. And I'm going to put these in. Just set them down and line them up. Pick that up. Put my paper back. I'm going to get my Parakeet Party. And ink those up. Oh, you guys, I'm glad you liked that gnome card. I really liked the way it turned out. Thank you for your kindness. Okay, so now I've got my Parakeet Party leaves. '90-degree angle. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to grab my final stamp. Well, my final stamp for the Stamparatus. And I'm going to place that on here. I'm going to line that up again. Because this is photopolymer, I can see through it to see the edges of my image. If it's not absolutely perfect, it'll be fine. It's handmade, not Hallmark. And then I'm going to take my Sweet Sorbet. I'm going to ink up my stamp. And I'm going to give that a press. And actually, I'm going to move this out of the way so I can give that a good press. Now, if you didn't move your stamps, you can just keep mass producing cards, but there is our image. Okay, so now we can set this aside because we're done with that. And I'm not going to worry about the center of that. There is a stamp for the center, but we're going to do something different with that center. Now, I do need to color in my stems because those don't come colored in. So I'm going to take my dark Parakeet Party and I'm just going to give a few slashes down there with that. I'm leaving white space. I'm going to go back with my light and blend that all together. All right, so here is my piece. Now I can put this on my card. Make sure it opens correctly. And I can add this to my card base. This is a pretty simple card to make. And very easy to mass produce. Okay, so we've got that. What did I do with my little gnome? Oh my goodness. Where, oh Gnomeo, where did you go? There you went, underneath the garden green. ink pad. Okay, so I'm going to take this gnome now, and I'm going to take from the Tea Boutique stamp set. Is that what it's called? Hang on, let me grab it. Cup of Tea. From Cup of Tea, I'm going to take this little tiny I Just Can't Thank You Enough. And going to get the Memento Tuxedo Black. I'm going to ink that up. There's a couple of sentiments from that Cup of Tea set that will work in here. And I'm just going to stamp that right in my heart there, and it just fits. You could also use the Sweet, or you could use the I Miss You. And those will fit in that little heart. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to take this and put him up on dimensionals. And I'm not sure where I set that, so we're just going to start our new Stampin' dimensional sheet. And then we're going to add this about right here. And actually, I didn't need to color that stem because I forgot I was covering it up. I'm going to put that there. Then I'm going to take those matte decorative 2021-2022 matte decorative dots. And I'm going to take an Orchid Oasis, the very light Orchid Oasis. And with my Take Your Pick tool, I'm going to take one of the large ones. And I'm just going to put that right there in the center of my flower. Now you could use an iridescent pearl. You could use a rhinestone, anything you like. And then we're going to take our Wink of Stella. And I'm going to run that right over the heart. I wanted to give that Memento a minute to dry. Got that. Now for the inside, I've taken a piece of 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. I've stamped There's Gnome One Better Than You from the Gnomes set in Orchid Oasis. I took one of those flower stamps and stamped that on the inside using the 2-step stamps. And we're just going to place this in. Now, do you need to do this? No, the inside of this card is white. You could stamp right on the inside, but anybody who knows me knows I like to do this because then someone can take it out and put a new inside in and send it forward if they so wish. Okay. And we don't have to do anything with the envelope because we're using the Tea Boutique cards and envelopes, and those are already decorated. So there is our second project for tonight. Let me bring back in the first one. You can see both of those projects together. I hope you'll give that friendly gnome set consideration. And that Beautifully Happy, really, you can make such beautiful cards with that quickly. You can color those with blends, or you can do it just like I did it tonight. And if you have a stamp positioning tool, it's super easy to do that. Okay. All right, everybody. Oh, thank you. Yes, that Cup of Tea bundle is very versatile. You can use it for a lot of things. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who will be at Crop on Saturday, I will see you there. For everyone else, I'll see you next Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. Same time, same channel. Thank you. Have a good week. Bye-bye.